There's this one here which I always found rather sweet, sort of a friendship made in heaven, Pete Burns and Morrissey. And sort of some of the quotes are, if I hear Morrissey's down or depressed, well, when is Morrissey ever not down or depressed? I'll send him a bunch of flowers, he's anyone's for a whoopin'. And Morrissey sent him 48 naked sailors. I'm not sure if he really did or not. But, I mean, it's sort of odd, really. They're an odd combination, and sometimes I wonder if they're still friends.
I'm still friends with Morrissey. I haven't fallen out or anything. I haven't seen him for about a year, or... You know, all my friends, I don't really keep back... I don't send postcards from the edge or, you know, phone them up. I haven't seen him for a long time, and I have to say that I don't suppose I really want to anymore. Not because of anything he's done or I've done. We've just got very, very little in common. I think Morrissey... I think he needs to live a life. He's afraid of having fun. And when I got to know him, and I got to know him really, really well, I realised he was somebody who was afraid of being happy, because a lot of his music is about his sadness and his isolation. And in order to maintain his creativity, he feels that he has to permanently perpetuate that lifestyle. And I don't feel sorry for him in a patronising way, but I think he needs to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he does have very much fun. And also he's very, very typecast by his fans. I don't know about in this country, but in England, you know, the vegetarian movement. And I know he craves a pair of leather jeans, but he realised that he couldn't possibly, couldn't possibly have them because his fans would turn against him. He became a spokesperson very, very early for his views, and he's very, very good at expressing his views, but now he's not allowed to change, and he has a lot of fear of changing, and his hardcore base abandoning him. He's just like anybody else. He lives an enforced life of misery, you know. So I've got no time for that. I mean, it's not as though terrible things have happened in his life. He's very successful, he's very talented, so I don't see that much area to be miserable in, and he just has to keep that way. So it's a bit like, you know, Fire and Ice, two completely different personalities. It was interesting getting to know somebody like that, but I'm glad that I'm not like him, and I'm sure he's glad he's not like me as well.
So we should be looking at that album and duets then?
Well, there's something actually out that I've seen here. There's a bootleg album where I did a live performance with him at the Royal Albert Hall back in the 80s. I can't even remember what the song is, but no, there wouldn't be any duets. I've got no compulsion to duet with anybody.
So you wouldn't want to work with no musicians would inspire you?
No, I wish Margarita Placatana could cover You Spin Me Round. She's my favourite musician.
I'm sure she would.
Oh, I'm desperate for her to do that.
This was their first album, Sophisticated Boom Boom, and sort of trademark hits. That's the way I like it, and I do anything. My favourite song, I think, was Wish You Were Here, Youthquake. This has got You Spin Me Right Round, like a record, and other songs such as Lover Come Back to Me, My Heart Goes Bang, 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 Bang. This one was sort of when I started losing interest in the band a bit. Mad, Bad and Dangerous to Know. There's a couple of good songs on it. Something in My House was the first one that they released, and this one's got a pull-out sleeve with the other band members on it, and so on. Spin it around. And that was the three main albums, and then after that I think they released one called Nude.
Was that released here? Nobody bothered to tell me.
This is their new album, Nuclear Patra, and it's actually got a remixed version of You Spin Me Right Round just for something different, and a copy I see, or a cover version of David Bowie's Rebel Rebel, and apparently I read somewhere that this was dedicated to Courtney Love, which I think is kind of sweet.
You know, I arrived at a hotel the other day, and they go, you know, I heard you were dead. I mean, no, I'm very much alive. Well, there's going to be, you know, here we go, the salesman promoting. What's going to be in the future? There's going to be a greatest hits album, but it's not just going to be the songs from the 80s that are just put on a CD and sold. We're re-recording them at the moment and having remixes done, so they've got a new slant, and there'll be a tour to promote that, and that's as far as I really project into the future. I don't really look back to the past, and I don't project far into the future, and I can't say I live every day as it comes. I'm sort of a week at a time kind of gal.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Oh God, that was really easy. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to
You're
meet you.
welcome. Oh, it was great to meet you as well. Thanks a lot.